Mom and Dad, I'm doing fine. You guys are on my mind. You asked me what I wanted to be, and now I think the answer is plain to see. I wanna be famous. I wanna live close to the sun. Oh, pack your bags, cause I've already...
What is up, everybody? My name is Brad Clark, or B_RadBrad8899, and I'm right now with Darian from Battle of the Generations, and tonight we are going to talk about Total Drama. Feel free to introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Darian. Like Brad said, that I am a friend from Battle of the Generations, which is a Total Drama roleplay, and I'm from other games, and yeah, I just decided to help him out, because why not? It sounded cool.
So today on this episode, we're just gonna do like a recap of the seasons if we watched them all. I know I have.
I have to. Are we including Dramarama or no?
I mean, you can if you want, but I don't think that's what we are going to mainly focus on.
Right. Yeah, I haven't really watched Dramarama anyway, so yeah, I'll be fine.
Okay, so first up, we're going to talk about season 1 and our thoughts. What's your thoughts on season 1?
It's one of my favorite seasons, to be honest. And it's probably because, as you know, I have such a love for Heather. Whoa, that happened. So, my parents will get that. Anyway, so, I have a...
There we go.
I just have a love for Heather, and her as a villain was actually pretty great. But, like, the only thing I didn't really like about Heather as a villain is that I do agree that she basically had, like, plot armor, because basically episodes in which she could have been eliminated, she wasn't eliminated. So I'm like, what are you doing here, Total Drama Island writers? Like, she definitely could have been eliminated here, but she's not. Like, they could have wrote that better, in my opinion.
Yeah, that's what I would agree. Even as a kid, I hated Heather. I mean, now I love her because she's awesome. But like as a kid, I was like, come on, I want her out. But that's
Right,
also but that's
Oh,
also a theory. My apologies. That's also a theory. I think the theorizer made up that they did it on purpose in the universe.
I heard about that. I think they said how that, like, basically they're like breaking it for her.
I mean, it wouldn't be too far off from the truth when you think about it, because the show is like, it's a reality television show. Of course, some of it's gonna be scripted. Well, a parody of.
Right.
But, so who were you rooting for to win in that season?
To be honest, I was rooting for Gwen.
Like, I mean, when I was a kid, I was rooting for, there was 4 people I was rooting for. Tyler, who was number 1 because he's super badass.
Yeah, I was rooting for Gwen, to be honest. It was either Gwen or Duncan I was rooting for. I was rooting for LaShawn a little bit too. I didn't really have an opinion on Owen because, man, but Heather, I hated her. And that's funny because when you look at me in the role plays, I am a Heather role player. That's funny. She used to be in Total Drama Island and Action, I hated her. But when we get to the world tour section of this, I'm gonna explain how I started to love her. And Heather was not the one for me. Gwen used to be my favorite character at one point.
Yeah. I mean, Gwen, I'll get to that, the whole scandal thing, but Total Drama, I feel like it's that and World Tour number. They're always switching. It just depends on my mood. Right now, I'm feeling World Tour just because of the whole traveling around the world. But It's just, to me, they're neutral in terms of how good they are. It's debatable. It's like, I don't know. But next, okay, so who I was rooting for Tyler, Justin. Crap, I forgot his name. I know I was rooting for, I can't do it again, Owen, those 3, and DJ. That's who I was rooting for also.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, those are bad choices, to be honest. I didn't really consider Justin because, I mean, he just wasn't a big part in Island, but he was just the pretty boy to me.
Yeah, I thought he was just a cool character when I was a kid, but now looking back, I kind of understood why people do not have an appeal.
Yeah, exactly.
So, onto action. This is personally not the worst season, but for some it's the worst. I think you had to the way to think about it is you had to think about it from a certain point of view because
Right.
obviously they just started and it's like what are they going to do? So they did movies, and as a film major, I thought it was very interesting. I enjoyed watching it, even though some of the stuff might be inaccurate. Okay.
Right. I definitely felt that it was a great like idea considering that they were just at like they were just on the island aspect and then they changed to something such as movies. I thought that was cool. But like my only problem with action probably is yeah, I love how they got people who didn't get so far in island to make it far in action. I enjoyed that. But like some like people Beth should not have made the finale, in my opinion. But
I was rooting for Duncan the whole time as a kid. And
you were
I
rooting
do
for
agree.
Duncan?
Yeah. I don't know, because when I saw him again, I was like, oh my god, it's a cool character. I actually started liking. But now looking back, I mean, it kind of was obvious. When you look at the two alternate endings, in terms of the canon, it's kind of hard to place them. But I think the Beth one's canon, if I'm not mistaken, because it makes reference to it in the Celebrity Manhunt, if I remember right.
Right.
And that's also something we're going to get into the canonicity of certain endings. But I think if I had to place this, I'd probably say I think this would be middle ground.
Hmm.
Oh, welcome. This is our other co-host who will be co-hosting tonight.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi.
This is Sky. She also was just all right. What the hell? Explain yourself.
Hi, I'm Sky. I don't know how else to introduce myself aside from that, so.
Okay, so we just went over Island and Action. What's your thoughts on those two seasons?
I really didn't like action, to be honest. It was just kind of meh.
I thought that too. Even as a
Okay, I'm
kid.
glad I'm not the only one.
I mean, in my opinion, like I said, like okay, so action wasn't great, but wasn't bad either. Like I said, I enjoyed how they gave people who didn't make it that far, they gave them a chance to make it farther. I agreed with that, but then like I said, I didn't think someone like Beth should have made the finale, but eh.
Something I might hint at for next episode is also the Gwent situation. That I think
God.
that kind of ruined it for me.
Yeah, me too. Like,
You said
once
Gwen?
The Gwent
checked that out.
situation.
Yeah.
Oh,
That
that
ruined
was
it.
just awful, to be honest.
I mean, I think according to the creator, he actually wanted them to stay together, but the writers, I think either the producers or the studio, you had to do whatever you do. The boss is the boss, right? And
Right.
so he just did it. Whatever you had to do, whatever your boss tells you in that industry. Otherwise, you are either fired or no one wants to work with you.
That's
Yeah.
awful. Honestly, I think that kind of ruined it for a lot of people, though.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So now we discuss action, our fabulous season to some. Okay, that was a joke. World Tour, the second. This is my second. Well, right now I just explained it's one of my favorites. Is right now it's kind of wish it's either or for right now.
Mm-hmm.
But I've heard also that this. Correct me if I'm wrong. The reason why this season's not really on Netflix is because of PETA and the whole DJ situation.
Are you serious? Is that really why it's not on there?
Total Drama. Ricky made a joke about it in one of his videos, so I would imagine it'd be true, but I'm not too sure.
Oh,
That's crazy.
honestly, PETA's done a bunch of dumb stuff, and this is just one of them. Honestly,
Yes.
they should be out there saving animals, not spending their time wasting it by saying, "Oh no, we should do something to stop this." It's only showing violence, but it's really not. Like
Yeah.
it was a bunch of accidents.
And that's one thing I didn't like about this season, and the whole
I felt bad.
Duncan, Courtney, Gwen love triangle, whatever that is. We'll touch on that maybe in a future episode. But as a kid, I was not rooting for any. I was rooting for, of course, my boy Tyler as a kid. But
Bro,
Right.
when I started watching World Tour, so like I said, in the first few seasons, I didn't really like Heather, but seeing how Alejandro was and how he basically made Heather look like the good guy, I was actually rooting for Heather. But like, I didn't root for Heather until the finale. I was like rooting for Cody, I think, because like
I don't know.
when it was
I
like those three as the final three, I was rooting for Cody. But when Cody got eliminated, I started rooting for Heather because I was like, no, I don't want Alejandro to win.
I think a lot of people were rooting for Cody to finally win because it was like this underdog that, you know, most people felt deserved it.
Yeah, I would imagine that. But also, that's also a controversy too. When I was a kid, I hated the finale. I none of my contestants ever made it, but now watching it, it's actually pretty damn entertaining.
Well, it's the best finale, to be honest. Like, it's the best finale Toe Drama's ever had, in my opinion.
I would
You're
I
also
would agree.
obsessed with Heather, so I don't think
No, because
you're a
it's
little
like,
biased.
no, I mean, it's a little. I mean, I'm being a little biased, but it's not just that. I'm saying like, you had two of the biggest villains at that time in the finale together. One was completely evil. Well, they were both completely evil, but Heather was like good by association because like Alejandro was like the bigger bad, and like Cody claimed that she's the good guy in the situation.
That's true.
She literally became Spawn, Venom, or Deadpool in this situation without the superpowers.
Exactly. Like
but
Heather winning was like one of the best things Total Drama's ever done, to be honest. Like, that was just great development for her. She went from being like the most hated person in Island to being someone that they don't want to be around in action to being like someone that they actually don't mind being around and a finalist / winner.
Right.
And also there's also the alternate endings. When I saw it in the United States, they had the Alejandro win. I thought it was weird. Then I watched it on Netflix several years later, and then it had the Heather ending. Now watching them back to back, I prefer the Heather ending.
Exactly. Heather is my preferred ending.
I mean, it would make sense, because how would she end up with Alejandro's manic, like, dummy anyway?
I mean, it could have been the heat of the moment, but I don't buy that explanation personally.
Yeah, I don't even think like their dummies were right next to each other either, to be honest.
No, they weren't, if I remember right. I had to reanalyze. So, next season, this is also a divisive season for fans. Here's the story with me. When I first heard about this season and All Stars, I did not want to do anything with it because I thought it would have the original people like Duncan, Courtney, Owen, and whatever. But then I think it was I think it was either 2013 or 2014. I remember because of Age of Extinction, because at the I don't know, something about that. It just reminds me of that. So then I binge watched seasons. I binge watched that season. Personally, it's more. I think it's probably one of my. I think it's personally I see it as like a good season. I know it could be an unpopular opinion, but to me, it brings it back to formula, back to simplicity.
Well, we're talking about Revenge of the Island.
Yes, I should.
Okay. I mean, I didn't mind Revenge of the Island.
I liked it.
I liked it too. I
really liked it.
I wish it was 26 instead of 13 episodes, but like,
me too.
Because that would have given more time for the characters to develop. But I mean, it was still not bad. It wasn't that bad.
And also, have you guys seen the original designs for some of the characters? Some of them are pretty weird.
Yes. Like I remember
Mike's
seeing
original
Mike. I remember seeing Mike's and Zoe's. Like,
Zoe's was interesting.
Mike's face was just like disturbing.
Yeah, it's basically Chris McLean as Mike, one might say.
Yeah.
So yeah, what I give Also, what I liked about this season, it also gave cameos to some of the older contestants, which I never thought would be possible.
My girl
Right.
Heather.
Yeah, basically the more popular characters, unfortunately. But I think it could have been
I
benefited
mean, it
for
wasn't
longer
that many popular
episodes.
characters. It wasn't just the popular characters. I mean, hey, they gave one to Bridget. Oop.
hmm
Oof.
I
Or
mean,
should I say Blanchett?
I don't
So,
understand why people think she's bland.
I don't know.
I
make
like
that. I only make that joke because Max makes it a lot.
oh yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
So yeah, this season I think it was pretty good. It's definitely not Island or World Tour by any means. You cannot repeat the original magic the original season had. And this is also, I feel like the problem is some of the newer Star Wars movies, which is again divisive comment.
Mm-hmm.
But like the magic that season had, they try to replicate it, although not perfectly. But I felt like they actually did pretty decent for what they did.
Mm-hmm.
So then now we get on to some people's favorite season. Okay, this is I think this is my least second favorite
This
season.
is like one of the most controversial seasons.
I mean,
I
let's.
actually enjoyed it.
I prefer I like the contestants
it
at the
could have
end
been-
personally.
All I'm gonna say, it could have been better, in my opinion. It could have been better. Like,
I think if it
some
was
things have
longer.
changed. Like, yeah, if it was like long, like I said, 26 episodes for more character development. If some things
Right.
were changed, that would have been fine.
And also, I felt like what they could have done, they could have had more contestants. They could have
Yeah, they
had
could have
like
did better with the cast because some contestants, like, how was Owen not an all-star? He was the first winner. Like, what?
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, I think I could kind of. Oh wait, that doesn't make sense because. Oh yeah, I was gonna say maybe they wanted to give him a break, but that wouldn't make sense.
He showed
They
up
only-
in the last episode.
Didn't
so-
they only do that because he was participating in Redunculous Race?
I have no clue, but I would imagine so. Because the show's creator wanted to make 10 seasons originally.
Right.
And I would imagine that this would be the halfway point. So that's why
Mhm.
they would do All Stars. But I feel like this could have been majorly improved. Even as a kid, not as a kid. Even as a teenager, when I was about 14,
Mm-hmm.
maybe 15, somewhere
Mhm.
between 13 and I'll probably say 14, just for time's sake. Like,
Mhm.
it was not impressive. Although the season finale with Mike and Zoe and Mao was interesting. It could have been. I feel like they should have done the Scott and Courtney situation with that.
I personally thought, whoopsies, wrong season.
We'll talk about that
and
later.
Courtney. Yes, Scott and Courtney. I feel like that could have been a good finale. But like when I'm looking at my All Stars, elimination order, and I put Sky and Zoe as Courtney and Zoe as the finale. I don't know why. I think I just preferred them as the finale.
I kind of like that. Like the two strongest women, although they're not necessarily the strongest, but maybe for that situation they are.
Yeah, and then,
So it would make sense.
yeah,
I
and then for my world, no, not my world tour, for my Revenge of the Island finale, I did Mike and Scott. So because Mike and Scott were kind of like, you could
Yeah,
say
they had a
rivals.
thing going against each other at one
Yeah.
point.
And
Exactly.
that season finale, I thought was on Revenge of the Island. On that note, I thought it was interesting. I thought it was so badass as a teenager. I am
Well,
a little
Brave-
baby
I love
teenager. When they had
Brave-
Iron Man reference, I was like, holy shit!
Yeah,
I liked Cameron's creation.
It was
That's
so
great.
cool.
and then
I think
Whoa.
All Stars should have been after Pocateo Island, because then they'd
Well,
have
didn't that-
more characters to put in
True.
That would make
instead
sense.
of just feeling that they needed to have Sam in there. Like they could have.
That kind of made me upset because Sam wasn't really an all-star. Brick was definitely an all-star.
Absolutely. Brick was awesome. I thought he'd be like one of those tough characters that'd be like a jerk.
Yeah.
But then when you see him,
Yeah.
he's just like
With the
so
glasses.
awesome.
Yeah. In Revenge of the Island, my way, I made Brick at fourth, and I made Joke at fifth.
I kind of like that.
Yeah. So Stacy was still 13th, but Sam got 12th. He got 11th. Anne Maria got 10th. Dakota got 9th. Cameron got 8th. Dawn got 7th. Lightning got 6th. Joe got 5th. Brooke got 4th. Zoe got 3rd, and then Mike and Scott were the finale.
Yeah, and so basically, that's just my thoughts on All Stars. I felt like it could have been much better, but hey, for what we got, I think it was pretty decent, except for Muddy Sunday.
Oof.
I don't like. I
That's-
know so many people have so many things against that episode, and I kind of just don't understand.
Maybe I think it's really the Courtney lovers, because the Courtney lovers like.
That's true.
Well, the reason why, if you guys didn't know, is because they wanted Courtney to progress, but however,
Yeah, wasn't originally Courtney was supposed to make finale, and then that writer Ed whatever he changed it or something.
I think it was the higher ups or the producer. Yeah, it was the higher ups that wanted the change. Either Cartoon Network or I have no clue.
That's tough.
I mean, the bot
It was
when
pretty abrupt, though.
yeah and that's where I had the problem with that. I mean, Courtney isn't necessarily my favorite character until fairly recently. But,
Right.
That's ridiculous. Anyways, let's get on to my least favorite season.
Pahkitew
Island. I hate
Oof.
this season. I mean, I'm a Scave shipper. I know, unpopular opinion. Bambi, please.
Oh no, I love Scape though. Please no.
I was rooting for them
Me
until
too.
freaking Dave went crazy, and
I actually liked Dave at one point in the show, but then when he started acting weird, I was like,
I mean, this could have been his first time liking a girl. I mean, some of us could act like that, but that's
well,
kinda
true. If
strange.
it is like your first big crush, you wouldn't really know how to act.
Yeah, I would imagine that'd be the case. But the I think we got the worst characters, the three worst characters: Rodney, Leonard, and Beardo. But Beardo is also an opinion that
You hate Leonard too. Thank you. Oop, don't let Tyler Goffier say that though.
too late.
I don't
I thi-
understand the obsession.
I think it's ironic. However, he's based off.
Like in the chats, why they love Leonard? They love Leonard because of James Kim.
Yeah, I don't
Because of what?
James Kim,
dude who
Michael
played
Kim's
him.
brother. He made the final three with while being super AFK, and like they think of him as a god or something.
Oh, that's funny. But
I like it.
when I first saw this on Netflix, I was horrified. I was like, no. I absolutely hated it, and it's just like, what the fuck were you thinking? This is even worse.
Like, we even had a pretty bad villain. I'm sorry, I just did not like Sugar.
Yeah, Sugar is supposed to be Honey Boo Boo, but I would stay far away from the Honey Boo Boo train for a long time because there's a lot of controversy there. But
Mhm.
Yeah,
but I felt like with Scarlet and Max, I was kind of expecting it.
Max was like comedic relief. I thought Max was funny.
I mean,
I
I made
enjoyed Max. Max was funny.
I made an OC kind of to counter those two.
Scarlet
like-
kind of scared me because she literally wanted to kill them.
Yeah, I could kind of get it. It's just like this season was the worst. I think the major issue is they were stressed out, either A or a lot of studio influence.
But didn't Christine Thompson do this? Because I heard after she got started working with this show, that's when they said it fell apart.
What do you
Oof.
mean?
They said before. I don't know. Someone was saying before she I forgot what's her role. I think she's like a producer or something. But
Yeah,
Yeah,
think I
like
might know.
they said before she joined the crew or whatever. They said that it was actually pretty good. So Island through Revenge of the Island, but after that, I think they said I don't know. I don't think it's her fault, but that's what someone told me.
I've never heard that before. Okay, so now
I don't
we. Oh, sorry.
I don't know if putting blame on one person's a good idea, though.
I would just say it's a there could be multiple factors. They probably
Yeah.
are under non-disclosure agreements.
Yeah, maybe they were just out of ideas because once you do a thing for a long time, you run out of ideas.
That's
Yeah.
true.
And this season really killed it for a lot of people, if I'm not mistaken. It killed it for me, but not fandom wise, but like it was like nah.
I mean, if like I'm not saying like if Total Drama like an actual season, not drama, but if a new season like came out, I'm not saying I wouldn't watch it. I would, of course, like I used to love this show at one point. I would still support it, but I don't know if I would be as interested as I was back when I was younger.
Yeah, even I rewatched them over the summer, and they're not but they're not as great as they used to be. I mean, as a kid, I would invite my friend over who
Yeah.
was
The only thing-
who was going to be on here.
The only season I really loved, like I can just consecutively binge watch, is like World Tour. Like I'll just have World Tour like on YouTube, like a World Tour playlist, and like all 26 episodes are just playing after one another. I'll just sit there and watch it. I did it last summer.
Yeah, and just this season really killed it for a lot of people, and it caused the show to kind of go in hiatus for about maybe 2 years. I don't remember when was Pocket Tail released.
Wasn't Pocket Tail like 2014?
Let me
I
check.
thought it was a bit later than that.
No, because wasn't Redonkulous Race like 2015?
Yeah, I think it was around the election. Okay, yeah, it was 2014. Yeah, because
Exactly. Yeah, and then Pocket Tail was 2015. And
no,
then we
Pocket
didn't
Tail was
get-
14.
I mean, not Pocket Tail, but Redonkulous Race was 2015.
Yeah. And so basically I remember because it was nearby election time and they had the Trump reference.
Mhm.
Okay. Yeah, you're right. So now we're on to another season, which some people like. This is pretty mid-ground for me personally. I think it's a good spin-off.
Redonkulous- I mean, I actually like Redonkulous Race. Like, there was nothing wrong with it, in my
I
opinion.
flipping loved Redonkulous Race.
I expected them to do a Redonkulous Race season 2. I thought it went that well, but nope.
I think they were originally going to do that, but they scrapped it.
Why? It was so good.
Probably because like they probably think like people won't be interested in the whole competition thing anymore.
Yeah, and television and most competition shows were dying at that time, if I'm not mistaken, right? But I
What
think
happened?
weren't competition shows dying near that time or not as popular?
I mean,
I don't know because
obviously
like
not.
Survivor, Amazing Race, and all that stuff was still going on. It's still going on to this day.
Yeah,
Oh,
they're all still very
Yeah, Survivor,
active.
Amazing Race, Big Brother, all that good stuff.
They're all still very present.
I never knew that. I thought they were dying, but my mistake. But I feel like with this season, it was a fresh new take, but for me, it was not like Revenge of the. I mean, they did do an anti-Scave situation with Noah and Emma, which I felt like should have happened.
I ship Nema.
I actually ship Nema. I ship
Me
her
too.
But then again, like people said that like Noah was acting himself because of Emma or something. But I didn't have a problem with them.
I'm neutral about it.
I just really
personally.
wanted his. I just still wanted his sarcastic comments.
Which he still had them.
He did.
Yeah, just for I was kind of expecting the whole Carrie and Devin situation. I kind of saw that from afar, but I did not realize it would go the way it did.
I loved Carrie and Devin.
Me too.
I like when people say they don't like Carrie and Devin, I get triggered.
Me too.
Triggered.
Honestly.
I don't even use that word, so that's how I know I got triggered.
Yeah, I saw this season last year, and that's when I started to hop on the Total Drama Facebook group and start role playing. So yay!
I remember how I like got into roleplay. I got into roleplay because of Tyler Goff. Like Bog was my first thing, and I'm still in the chat to this day. But like, I just haven't competed in a minute. I haven't competed since season 9, but season 9 wasn't it for me.
All right, so that's basically our season. But I think what do we think overall of the series? Do we think? I feel like personally, there needs to be, if there's another season, they're gonna need to step up because there's all these shows that are coming out like Teen Titans Go and it's toddler prequel whatever alternate universe bullshit.
I don't understand that.
This is what I think. Okay, so basically, well, I forgot what I was gonna say. Never mind.
Go ahead.
I literally forgot.
Oh, I was gonna
Never
say,
mind. I forgot.
like I mean, this show is my childhood. I was watching this show when I was about 7, 8 years old with my friend. And literally, we would hang over for sleepovers just to watch the new season, and we would want to know just to see who would win.
Right.
And I think if this show were to come back, which I really
Mhm.
hope they do, and I don't know if they will.
Mm-hmm.
I think what they need to do is they need to. I think first they need to get new writers. The writing in this
Ooh.
is either
If they could,
at best it's like really
if they
brilliant, but at
could
worst
get
it's
the
like
world, if they could get the world tour writers back, maybe they'd have some.
World Tour or Island, unless they're all the same writers, which I'm probably wrong.
There's probably been some changes throughout the year.
Probably. If they can get like writers like, well, this is what we need to do. We need to like if they could figure out, well, first, like, what's the most popular episode from Island and what's the most popular episode from World Tour?
I would imagine for Tour. I probably imagine for both of those the first episode, because that to me the first episode will either make or break your show.
True. But I mean, hey, the finale for World Tour was popular, so whoever wrote the finale definitely knows what they're doing.
Absolutely, I would say they would need to get some writers, and I think also
Probably.
but I'll save that for our next other episode, which is what we think could happen in a hypothetical season.
Okay.
But I'm thinking overall, I do enjoy the show. Yes, the show might be dead, but
Ooh.
never say never.
I mean, it's like you can kind of say it's dead if we're not counting drama, but like it won't. It's not dead in our hearts. Like
Yeah,
I still love this show, even though like I don't know. Like at one point, I kind of gave up on Total Drama, which is why like I don't really like do anything with the fandom, which is why I don't really do any of the role plays anymore. Like
Mm-hmm.
I'm only in Bog because like Bog is
Oh,
like
you're
was my
right.
first thing, so I'm like I really don't want to. But everything else I'm not really in, and I'm in Bod because I'm hosting that. But
Right.
other than that, I kind of just tied away from that, and like I'm into other stuff now, and then I'm hosting my own games now. Like I kind of left the Total Drama fandom, kind of you could say.
I
Oof.
mean, with me, I kind of I left it between when I watch action and no, not action, between World Tour and when I binge watched Revenge of the Island till Pacateo. But it was brief, and then I briefly
Mhm.
left it again for Redonkulous Race because I had no clue until I saw it,
Mhm.
and it's just like I think with this show, yes, this main series might be dead, but when you really think about it, what makes it dead? I mean, Rama is still going on, and it's not that bad, but it's not that good either. It's just like,
It just
come on,
exists.
yeah. I guess you could say it. It's like, come on, writers. We know you can do better. We've seen you do better stuff. I mean, I feel really bad for the co-creator. How he says is no one want to watches it. No one will want to watch it. I disagree with that. When you look at the fandom's kind of quiet, but back between before Redonkulous Race was announced, before the
Mhm.
post, people were super hyped. Although not as much as they probably would have been in the past.
I was really excited when I heard that Redonkulous Race was coming out, and I would watch it, and then I would like talk to my friend about the episode after it had aired that like the next day in school, and then we would talk about like what we hope would happen and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But-
I was like that at one point, like with like the other seasons with like World Tour. I was like that. I would talk about like, oh my god, I hope this person gets out, this person wins. I hope someone's able to take down Alejandro.
Yeah, I would agree. But yeah, that is it all for today, guys. We'll see you guys on the next episode. Any final words?
Thanks for watching, I guess, and I'm glad I was able to partake in this. And in a few weeks after this ends, me, Sky, and a few others will do our own podcast.
Thanks
And
for
what
having
is
me.
no problem. And what is this podcast?
It's gonna be about Pokemon, because
Oh,
basically,
that sounds really cool.
yeah, because like we have that Pokemon chat, and we're gonna just talk about stuff such as like the anime, the games, and the big thing is the story that we are working on.
All righty. See you guys later, and yeah,
Bye.
thanks for stopping by.